How you all doing this morning? Actually, this afternoon. You doing all right? You good? It's so good to see each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time to be here this afternoon. And there's a million other places you could be. There's a million other things you could do. There's all kinds of distractions in the world. But it takes something special to show up when you realize what's at stake. And I just want you to know there is so much at stake. And it's not just about November. It's not just about November 6th and the race to 270. It is about the culture that is America and understanding what that means. Because it's not being taught in schools anymore. It's not being taught. We rarely even talk about it. Think about it. Just think about it for a second. What does it mean to be an American? Now listen, I'm coming from a place where I spent 10 years in SEAL team. My name is Richard Mack Machowicz. Everybody calls me Mac. All right. I heard there's some big Second Amendment supporters out here. Anybody a big Second Amendment supporter? All right. You may have seen Future Weapons on Discovery Military Channel. I happen to host and produce that show. I also hosted a show on Spike TV called Deadliest Warrior. And I just finished wrapping up a show on History Channel called The Ultimate Soldier Challenge. But I'll tell you what, for a long time I kind of sat on the sideline. I figured if I took care of my business, you take care of yours, right? And you are. But it turns out the other side actually has ground troops. The other side has activists. And they've had a huge impact on the last 100 years with regards to the direction of the country. And so when you look at this, we, the people, have to get involved. We do. And if we don't, listen, today's a day we can celebrate, we can enjoy each other, we can enjoy this beautiful weather, we can enjoy our time today, but there is a ton of work that needs to be done. And we really don't understand what it means to be an American. And you think I'm crazy? No, because I've asked some very successful people, what does it mean to be an American? I've asked some people that had a ton of money, that have accomplished great things, that have been supportive, helped great charities, done amazing work. I've talked to all kinds of people, and the word that I hear most of the time to describe what it means to be an American is freedom, right? Who doesn't love freedom here, right? Hey, freedom! Right? We love that idea. It sounds good, but what does that actually mean? What's that? Freedom isn't free. Exactly. To truly cherish freedom. And I'll take it one step further for us. Because I don't know if people know this, because I come off as a pretty intense guy. I think that probably has to do with being a Navy SEAL for 10 years. It might have that to do with it. But I'll tell you what has a lot to do with my intensity right now is there's so much work to be done. The price of freedom is eternal vigilance. Thomas Jefferson. Okay? No, this is great. The price, what do we have to be eternally vigilant for? What is it we have to be vigilant of? I stayed with that question for a very long time. Because I was sitting on the sideline, I'm taking care of my family, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I volunteered to join the military, I spent 12 years in the Navy. I think I did what I thought I was supposed to do. I think I fulfilled some of that obligation, right? But when you look it down and you break it down, all of a sudden, what's missing from that equation? What does it really mean to be an American? And one of the things that helped me do this, I read a book by Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. And he's a guy who was in the Holocaust. He lost his wife in the Holocaust. He lost his friends in the Holocaust. And he realized that he was in charge of his thoughts, that he was responsible for his thoughts even in a situation like that. Responsible. He could do this. One of the concepts he floated out there was we have the Statue of Responsibility on the East Coast, right? We do, right? Everybody love the Statue of Liberty? Who doesn't love the Statue of Liberty? That sounds great. It sounds awesome. But I want you to know something. Freedom's a tricky thing. All right? I'm going to say this because we all love the idea of freedom. But I just want you to know something. Terrorists experience freedom. They think they're free to do what they want to do. Right? Serial killers, they got freedom too. Thugs, murderers, rapists, they're free. Now, we may punish them if we catch them, right? See, freedom's a tricky thing. But what does it mean to have freedom in America. What does it mean to be American? And I searched high and low. I was trying everywhere to try and figure out what this means. What is the definition of being an American? And then I kind of dawned on me for a second. Wait a second. See, I looked at the Constitution hundreds of times. I've read it before. I've gone through it. I read the Declaration of Independence. All right? But all of a sudden, I read the preamble instead of third person. Instead of in the third person, the plural, we the people. I read it like this: I, a citizen of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to myself and my posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America. Now, what does that look like when I talk about the dynamic of looking at yourself and seeing, am I actually doing what I can to ensure domestic tranquility in my life? Am I doing what I can to establish justice in my life? Am I doing what I should be as far as being ready to provide for the common defense, to promote the general welfare in my life and in my family's life, in my neighborhood, in my local city, in my state, in my country, and provide the blessings, secure the blessings. It didn't say secure the blessings of liberty. Think about this. Now all of a sudden when you say the price of liberty, the price of freedom is eternal vigilance, I just want to throw it out on the table for you to understand that's what we were supposed to be vigilant for not only for ourselves, but for our posterity, for our children, for our families, for our communities, for our state, for our nation. There's a difference between just being a Texan. Being a Texan is awesome, by the way. Just want to throw that on the plate, okay? Who doesn't love being a Texan, okay? I am lucky that my wife allowed me to come here and raise my family. My girls now were born here. But being a Texan, we must lead from the front. Texas must lead on this, and we clearly have to sell to people the idea of the responsibilities of being an American. Self-reliance, self-determination, the ability to self-govern. If we don't do that, it will disappear. If we are not eternally vigilant, it will vanish. Today we get to celebrate it. Today we're going to hear from some great speakers who know a lot about this, who are getting things done in the real world. But I want you to know, every single one of you right here, I love you. I appreciate you. I appreciate your courage to show up. I appreciate the support that you give to the Texas Patriot PAC, to the Tea Party itself. And I'm sorry that I was sitting on the sidelines so long, and I promise I will never sit on the sidelines again.